Hello there, everyone. How's it going? It's Sunday night, October 30th. It's pretty late, and tomorrow's Halloween, October 31st, which means it's the end of October tomorrow. And I know a lot of you that subscribe to both the NBA and the NHL algorithm are probably like, am I going to have to update this Excel file every day, Ken? Like, you're the expert here. Why are you making me do it? Well, the Excel files for most of the algorithms, they can kind of go on autopilot a little bit once the season starts. That's why I did a daily email list for the NHL and the NBA algorithms because their seasons are kind of aligned timing wise. And so I was able to get through November and get these things at least working where it's pretty easy to update them every day. And I have videos and how to tutorial videos about how to update them yourself. However, it's still work and I don't like doing it either. I mean, it's busy and to get them right and to keep them accurate requires attention. So I don't want to leave everybody hanging, but at the same time, I cannot do an email list in both these sports every day. We have college basketball coming, and college basketball is 10 times the size of both of these. And I'm going to be doing the same thing I was doing for NHL and NBA for college basketball in November. And that's going to be November 7th through the 30th of daily emails. So that one does have a daily email list for November. The other ones, I have a solution to this problem. I was like, haven't I solved this problem before? I was looking back in previous years. I was like, yeah, I have solved this problem before. We have a Google Sheet. We have a Google Sheet. It used to be the NHL Google Sheet from last year. And apparently I have a bunch of results in here. Looks like we won 55% of our games for the games that I recorded last year. I don't remember how many days I did this. I do a lot of things and I just glanced at it and I realized that this thing existed. And so it's like, all right, well, here's what we'll do. I'm going to combine NHL and NBA into one file. It's 50 bucks, 50 for November. And I will update this with the rendering or essentially the projections for the day for those sports. So I'm just going to start stacking them, meaning here's NBA for the day. I have the Excel algorithm. And when the scores finish and I update the scores, at the end of the night, I'll update the results and just copy this basically and paste it right here so that we get a look at the final results. This is what the projections are. Tomorrow, I'll post it right below the next day, and it'll tell you what day it is right here. Tell you what day it is, tell you which projection it is. It'll tell you the record for that day as well. And we'll just stack them. This is less than $1 a day for each sport when you think about it. It's ends up being about $1.30 a day, I think, for both sports. And on top of that, whenever you purchase the subscription for November, I will send you a current version of the Excel algorithm for the day. Because what I really want you guys to do is I want you to update it yourself and not be relying on me. I like to hear stories and I like to see emails from people who say, you know, I took your algorithm and I used it and it had a great win percentage and I won and it helped me pay bills. I love to hear that. I think that's the way this should work. Don't be reliant on me because we all know I have the worst gambling instincts known to man, which is why I created the best algorithms known to man, by the way. But I just don't be relying on me. But if you need to be relying on me, and if you just want to click something on your phone, right, and browse it, you can do that in the Google Sheet with basically any smartphone and getting the Sheets app on your phone. You'll be able to view this and it'll be somewhat legible. And we might even try to work on it to make it more legible on the phone, given that if I'm going to use this on my phone, I that's how I test it out, right? I'm like, is this really usable or do you need the Excel file? And for certain things, you're going to want the Excel files because you're going to want to look through injury reports. You're going to want to see what these injuries are. And that's going to require research on your own time if you don't have the Excel file, if you're not updating it yourself. So I wanted to let everybody know that that's what's going on for November. So I won't leave everybody hanging. And there will be no more email lists though. So don't expect to get emails from me with the file every day. Expect to have one permalink and I will add you to this file up here and I'll give you access and you'll be able to view it. And I will be posting every day. If it's not up on a certain day yet and you're waiting for it, you don't need to send me an email. You don't need to notify me. It's not up because I didn't have time to do it yet. And so because I run a lot of different tasks I take care of on a daily and weekly basis, I will obviously try to get this up the night before, and you'll know what date and what time it was updated by this time right here. I always put these on all of the algorithms picks and renderings because I want us to know exactly when stuff was posted. See, I don't have it on NHL last year, but I will have it on NHL this year right here. And we will just paste below the new day every day. We'll just keep pasting down and we'll freeze stuff so that you'll know exactly how current the update is. You get things in hockey like confirmed or expected goaltenders that kind of let you know whether or not it's a later version of the picks for the day. But if you want to have it on your own time and you want to be able to act on things early in the day and update this on your own time, you're going to want to be updating the Excel files. And I've provided a lot of videos in every sport really to update them yourself. So I wanted to announce this for November so that everyone can calm down about November picks. And you can go subscribe to that. And everyone who's been supporting this, really appreciate it. It's been great this year. So that's the NBA and NHL Google Sheet. All right. What else did I want to talk about today? I mean, I kind of want to go over, and NBA is not over yet. And I didn't pay attention to any of this. I was out doing other stuff all day long. Really missed a lot of this, but I did follow some football off and on the phone. Hockey seems to be having an okay day. Chicago just lost in overtime. People want to talk about football, and I want to talk about football as well for a second here. So I was looking over football, and let's not look at Monday yet because it's not over yet. And the Sunday night game is going on right now. So it says 7-7, and there's okay wins at the top, but this is unacceptable for me. This is once again another lackluster week, and I was like, this is not okay. Like we need to be crushing it at least one of these weeks, and we need to get stuff straight. And on top of that, here's how awful this was: Detroit, Giants, Bears, the only three underdogs the algorithm picked today, all lost, and this Bears game was a joke. They have no defense. The Giants game, I don't know what happened, but they lost by 2 scores. And Detroit led this game, and this game actually had a lot of points and hit the over. And it looked like they were going to get to 80 points, actually, I think by the end of the half. I can't remember. They had, I think it was like 20, was it like 27-21 at the half or something? It was like crazy. And then they stopped scoring in the fourth quarter. I had a bet on this game of alternate over of over 58.5. How many freaking points are in this game? 58. And then for the last like 10 minutes of the game, I was like, anyway, but those are losses, and that is unacceptable. But there's a silver lining here, and I'll explain to you why and what happened. So we also have this thing called win score, and I haven't talked about it in forever. I haven't even talked about it all this season. I haven't talked about the season pivot sheet. Like, I've just been rolling this from last year and haven't really done anything because I believe the point projections are more important than the win strength. Well, of course, because I did that. Well, what happened today? All these ones with negative win strength lost, except for way down here, which win strength is the thing that I used to only use years ago in NFL. There wasn't even a point projection years ago. Point projection is a new thing. So the win strength was fine. Like, take a look at this, right? Like, start sorting. First of all, let's clear this filter. And then we're going to sort this by win strength instead. Just do it right here. Descending by win score percentage. So that didn't do that. Let's try it over here. More sorting options, descending by win score percentage. Yeah, okay. So here you have this is a team stat number, this win strength percentage. So it's not incorporating who is exactly playing in the game. It's incorporating the team as a whole and their stats from the season in aggregate. There you go. There's your top 7. Top 7 win. Then you start getting fuzzy down here. And it's bad with the Saints. The Commanders won because Heineke is a better QB than Carson Wentz. I mean, that was obvious. I'm convinced Dan Schneider, and a lot of people are convinced of this, Dan Schneider is secretly a Cowboys fan, and he bought the Redskins to destroy them and make them lose every year. And hopefully they will get Dan Schneider out of there because he is loathed in this area, the owner of the Redskins. But they got Heineke in there. The kids got heart, and McLaurin's got heart, and they win a game today and beat a bad team in Indianapolis. And I at least bet them because I root for, I knew Heineke was playing. I understand why these things happen, but point is win strength does matter. So let's back up for a second and go back to the point projection view. And now we need to know that when we see a big negative win strength here, that we have to have reasons why the point projections are going to overwhelm that and overrule that. And so that means I need to do a huge review of the point projections. And what I'm going to do with that, let's see here. Value filters greater than projected margin of victory is greater than 0. There we go. So we get back to this look, and I mean, I want to talk about a couple games, and then I'll just leave the video, and we'll be back on Monday with NBA and NHL and the Monday Night Football projections for Monday tomorrow. But I do want to go over the day to day, because I will dig into the numbers, and I'm going to do some programming adjustments for the version of the people who paid for NFL. Keep in mind, I haven't sold a unique weekly NFL subscription in over 2 weeks. So when I start thinking about putting effort into this, I'm putting effort into it for the people that purchased the season subscription at the beginning of the year. You're obviously due my effort, but I'm not selling a lot of these now, and I'm surprised I'm not selling any weekly. So the videos are going to stop being public because I don't make any money off my videos, but my channel is not monetized. So I'm going to leave this private for all of us that paid for this so that we can benefit off of it. And I'm not going to put it out to the public because NFL is, let's face it, somewhat choreographed. We got rough officiating. We've got things that are not necessarily on the level, like Jacksonville throwing a game a few weeks ago. There's a whole lot of things about NFL that make me wonder if it's worth my time to predict NFL sometimes, or at least if I should be using, I've said this in videos previously, whether I should be using other non-numerical factors when predicting NFL, like Jacksonville. I told you Jacksonville knows how to lose games. Do they know how to lose games because they're a bad team? Or do they know how to lose games because they don't draw a lot at their stadium, which is why they're playing a lot in Europe? And if you want to enrich people who are wagering and stuff, you fix games and you have Jacksonville lose because they're not going to win anyway. They don't draw. They're the bastard stepchild of the NFL in many ways. And so maybe they're supposed to lose. And that's why they do lose ridiculous games and throw interceptions on the 1 yard line and lose late to Denver and lose late to Houston, right? Which is the game that they threw a few weeks ago. So when you see this, until somebody like me comes out and just points it out over and over and over again, and the word gets back to the NFL, and then they realize, well, they're on to us. Now we got to do something else. Until they do that, you can see Jacksonville probably lose really close games the rest of the season, and it's for nefarious reasons. So it makes me want to do non-numerical programming in here. Similar stuff actually happens with the Saints too. And in Indianapolis. It just makes me want to focus my time on other sports. So if I'm not going to be selling a lot of NFL, it's just going out to people that bought it, and we're going to use it, and we're going to keep it out of the hands of the odds makers, and they can deal on their own. That's the way I look at it. And so I will do some work on point projections. There were some okay things, like a lot of points in this Detroit game, even though they lost. They were ahead too. Like Detroit's another one of those teams that finds a way to lose, right? I don't know. I see this more in this sport, and I also see it in soccer. I see it in soccer because you give somebody a penalty shot for no reason if you need them to score a goal late. And here in the NFL, you can call extra penalties and stuff. They've been kind of getting on the officiating more because it's so obvious and so easy to check. So they'll do different things like not call certain penalties they might call in certain other situations. But rather than me getting super negative and jaded about the whole situation, because a lot of it is on the level and a lot of it is sport and people are trying, we'll just keep working on it. But we'll understand that when it comes to wanting the numbers to mean more, a sport like college basketball, which is what I'm starting on in a week and what I'm going to be doing a lot of for November, is a better idea. It's much more difficult to rig a college basketball game, and to rig all of them. It's extremely difficult. Here in the NFL, it just makes me not want to spend all my time programming NFL. Put it that way. I'll leave it at that. So that's the update for Sunday. If you want to purchase subscriptions for November for NBA and NHL, you can. If you want to buy an NFL file, you can also do that. Otherwise, I'm not doing a single public NFL video for the rest of the year. I will only sell this. All right. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning. I hope they did today. Mine did not win.